Hey everybody, Chris here. Welcome on a Thursday night. We've got a dump in the crypto market right now as we're going live. I was going to talk about my March price prediction tonight, and that's what this video and this stream was all going to be about. And we just about hit my March price prediction just tonight. So we'll talk about that. Welcome. If you're watching this on the video, on the replay, you weren't on with me live, so you couldn't leave a comment. We couldn't chat about it. So, but do please give a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Certainly appreciate that support. And we will be getting to the March price prediction. I guarantee you that. However, at first, we've got more immediate things at hand, and that is what is happening in the crypto market right now. Let me drop down in the corner here. And what do you see? These red candles. Now, I've got this on the 5-minute because I'm zeroed in really close right now because we want to watch and see whether this 735 right here is the bottom of this recent dump here, and whether this is going to trend back up or whether we're going to go for a sort of a second dip. So we'll be watching that really closely. I'll zoom back out and zoom back in a couple times so that you can see the chart both close in, so we can see whether this is going to again start to come back up right now or not. But also look at it zoomed out in the context because we go to the 15-minute chart and we see that Doge was going sideways. And I was about to talk about, again, hitting 8-cent support for an 11th time now over the past month, an 11th time of hitting support. And why this dump? Well, there's Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin decided to take a big dump. And if you've been watching me for the past few days, I think actually since last Saturday, this is what I've been predicting for Bitcoin here, is I've been predicting this dump here. And this is what I drew. This is the line that I drew back here. It was a week ago, actually. It was a week ago I drew this. So we knew this was going to be coming. We talked about it last night as well, whether Bitcoin trading was going to cross over this line or whether it was going to come down. And tonight it has dropped down. Just about touched 22,000, did not go below. So 22,000 will be support for Bitcoin. And we'll be watching that, whether Bitcoin turns and goes lower as well. But it's all the cryptos, Algorand, big dump, ETH, big dump, big red candle on ETH, below 1,600. So we'll be tracking all of that, but right now, all eyes on Doge. And what did I do right before it came on the stream? I bought some more Dogecoin. That's right. I keep buying Dogecoin. I have a target of 1 million Doge, and I bought it at 739 right here. So as it was coming down, I was like, okay, that hit my buy point. So I buy the dips. I don't dollar cost average, just I buy the dips when I see the dips. And as this was going down, 739 is where I caught Doge. So, and I always tell you guys when I buy, right now it's at 742. That's not that far from 739. So again, we don't know whether this is going to turn around and dump a little lower, or this is the bottom of this dump and we're going to come back up. But yeah, Joe, as you say, right? Feeling greedy, time to buy. That's right, Joe. And you're also not surprised, right? Yeah, that's what we have. But I was just saying this last night. If you guys were listening to me, this is what I said. When you see blood in the streets, there's two things, right? It's the time to buy, and this is when wealth is created. Wealth is created in these bear markets when you see these dumps. This is the time to buy. So I not only got Doge that I bought, but I also had some limit orders that I had set on SHIB. Now, unfortunately, my SHIB was up here at like 1150, and SHIB dumped a little lower. Right now, it's at 11 17, it actually dipped just below 11 for a second and came back up. But I did get some more SHIB. And also, for those that were watching me last night, we were talking about Jasmy, and I had 0055 limit order set for Jasmy to catch that on the dip, and now it's at 5.3. So I'm a little down on that purchase right now, but I still felt that that was a good limit order price because Jasmy had been staying up here above 5.7, after it had dipped below 0.06. But I'm now in the Jasmy gang, guys. I'm now in the Jasmy gang. So let me go back to Doge and let me come back in on the 5-minute and we'll see what it's doing. Yeah, it looks like Doge is trying to hold this support here at 735, and looks like we're going to be seeing a bit of recovery there. Looks like we're seeing in the short term. So we'll see whether Doge continues to follow that, and that this is indeed the dip for the night here. So there we are. Ben Sir, hello. Doge took a dip tonight, as all cryptos did. This is a fast one too. This just came out of nowhere, just a big dump all of a sudden. Because I was just preparing for the stream here. It was like, I'm going to give my March price prediction, and you guys aren't going to like it because I'm going to be talking about Doge going lower. And it did. just in the span of what, 20 minutes, it almost hit my prediction, which was 7.3 cents. By the way, I'm giving it away here early, but yeah, and you guys weren't going to like it. I mean, there was a hint on the thumbnail, right? You saw some red there because I was predicting down. I'm also predicting down for Bitcoin as well, but yeah. Yep. Ethereum Classic, Doge Bull. Ethereum Classic did a big dump here, dumps below 20, and it looks like it bottomed here at about 19. Yeah, about $19 was the exact bottom here for Ethereum Classic on that tail right there, and now recovering back up to 1942. What just happened? Exactly. What just happened? These are the market makers liquidating those that are going long on leverage. They see how much leverage is being used, and if you were looking on Reddit and looking on Twitter and even a lot of the YouTubers, I mean, everything was bull, bull, bull. It was just bull everything. But if you've been watching me for the past week, I haven't been buying, and I've been talking about a retracement again and again. And all of these bullheads just, and what does that lead to? It leads to a lot of people buying on leverage for cryptos to go up. And this is what happens when the market makers liquidate those leverage positions. That's what happens. And it happened fast. So that's what just happened. That's what happened. Buy more Doge, save the price. Exactly. Just bought some more Doge because I had the fiat ready. I told you guys, not only did I have my end of January fiat, and I had only deployed about half of it. I still had half of it sitting there, but now I've added to that my end of February fiat. So I had additional. And I haven't deployed it all yet because I'm uncertain here. I don't know whether this is the dip and it's going to all go up from here. I kind of have a feeling like it's going to go sideways a bit down here and may take a little while to resettle. We'll see what happens with the volume. But right now, we'll be watching that. So here's Doge at 741 right now. Just kind of battling here. If the volume dies out really quick, because the volume all day was like almost nothing here. And then boom, huge volume with this big liquidation. So yeah, I need some chips to go with this dip. Yeah, Kubro, that's right. Yep, 8 cents didn't hold. It finally broke through. I mean, support is only support until it's broken, right? But that had been a long time with 8 cents. Again, if I go out and I look at the 4-hour chart and we see all the times, all the way back here, this was January 18th, we hit 8 cent support. And then we hit it again here on February 9th and 10th, and then the 13th and the 14th and the 15th and the 24th, the 25th, the 27th, and the 28th. And I was all set to draw another little circle right here because it did bounce off. And I was going to like, okay, we got another one. That's the 11th one. And that was earlier today. And we were going to be talking support, but I was going to tell you support was going to be broken. Month of March is going to go down. And I was targeting 7.3. And not only me, but we also had, this is BN Crypto. Dogecoin price could increase to 10 cents after one final drop, right? One final drop. And what was that drop? Blah, 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 blah. Go all the way down right to the point here. Dogecoin price prediction for March, descent will continue. Technical analysis from short-term 6-hour charts with Doge price completing an ABC corrective structure here. It's going to break down to the downside and it's going to hit 7.3 right there. And I was perfectly in line with BN Crypto. Of course, this is written before the big dump. And I was all set to talk about this before the big dump, that 7.3 was going to be my target. And then in April, we're going to take off. That's my kind of global prediction here of Doge here, is that down March month, Bitcoin was going to be down. Couldn't have a third consecutive green month for Bitcoin. And now Bitcoin, if we take Bitcoin and we look at the monthly, this was what we were looking at last night as well. Sorry for all the lines here, but there was the big green one in January, small little green candle for February, and now March is a red candle as it's going down. So that was on the monthly there, and Doge on the monthly was down on February and now again down in March. Now it's 745 here. So this is what we're looking at. There are some who are still think Doge is going to come down below 5 cents and maybe hit upper fours. I don't see that right now. That would only take Bitcoin, dropping massively down to like 15K. If we saw something like that, then we might see Doge at 4.9 or something like that. But right now, as we're watching this, Doge's trying to make a recovery. Here's on the half hour, the 30-minute. Here's Doge with the green candle up, now up to 745. So the 739 buy that I made is looking good. But again, this could retrace down. We're seeing on the MACD, we're seeing these big 3 red flags here. And typically that's going to be followed by a few more when we see this big down, but it might start turning pink and move back the other way. So we'll be watching that. But on the 5-minute, the more immediate, and what's happening here is just a little bit of recovery. And right now we're at this point where we're going to see whether it's going to come back up a bit or turn back down and retest 735. So we'll watch that. Hey, Ron, bloodbath is in action. Hope it stops and springs back. So do I. Now that I bought a good chunk here on this dip, a spring back would be nice. Yeah, CDM dip. And CDM's also buying more ETH. Let's look at ETH here, right? In the short term, well, it looks like 1560 was a good buy point if you got it right here, Ron. 1560. or CDM, right? Yeah, it was CDM who was buying ETH right at 1560. That's a pretty good buy. That looks like a pretty good buy point for you. And Jadranko also adding ETH. You're accumulating ETH. That's good. I still have a big chunk of ETH that's wrapped up in Coinbase. That's sitting in the ETH 2.0 and it's locked. It'll become unlocked probably later this month when the Shanghai upgrade comes out for Ethereum. But I'm not going to sell. I'm holding ETH. I'm holding that ETH for a long time, and so I've been buying some other cryptos here besides Doge. But I'm also accumulating more Doge on my path to 1 million Doge. So added to that tonight, and we'll see how Doge goes and whether more is picked up at a little lower price. You buying Jasmine? Just bought you another like. Well, thank you, Ron. Yep, I'm in the Jasmine gang now. I'm in the Jasmine gang. We'll see what happens with it. It's one I've been talking about, and if you guys have been watching me for the past month or so, I've been talking about waiting for the right time to buy Jasmine, and tonight was the night. So I got it on a dip. So I got me some Jasmine. CDM says, does this change your prediction? This is my prediction. This was my prediction when Doge was up here that we were going to be 7.3. I still, well, let me go to the Doge chart here. I still think we're going to be sideways probably now in the sevens for a bit. I don't know if this is going to do an immediate recovery all the way back up to 8 cents. Something tells me that with this big drop that I don't think we're going to make a recovery all the way back up to 8 cents real soon. So typically on these kind of drops, what we'll see is we'll see it level out to some point, maybe between 7.5, 7.6, somewhere in here, and then start going sideways again. So we'll watch that. Martin, you made an FTM purchase. I don't know where FTM is now. Let's take a look at how low FTM went. Well, it only dipped to 40. 43 is up here. So yeah, you were quick on the trigger there when it started dumping, Martin, right? Or unless you had a limit order set like I did with Sheeb. I had a limit order, and it hit the limit order real fast and went sailing right by it, even lower. But I felt good about that price long term. A year from now, when we're looking at prices of these coins, we're not going to remember this little dip. I don't think so, because it's going to be a little dip a year from now when we're in a bull market and crypto is taking off. Again, no guarantees, and I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, but we won't remember this day. Well, some of us might, but this is when you accumulate, in my opinion. And this is I'm just telling you guys what I'm doing. And I just bought into 3 good chunks and 3 cryptos tonight. And we'll be looking to buy more after the stream. I'll check out some of the others and see whether I'm going to buy something else. So we will take a look at that. But yeah, FTM at 43 is not a bad purchase, Martin. If we go out to the 4-hour and we look at 43 here, yeah, we were just looking at this last week. We were looking at FTM, and it had dropped down to 43, and we had circled this, and we were like, that seems to be a good buy price, right? In fact, that was probably with you. Is that right? We were talking about this? And so when FTM came up to 46, I mean, this was the buy price. So you hit it at 43. This was it. So yeah, now that it's a little lower, yeah, but long term, I mean, just here, the middle of February, it was up here at 58. So 43 is probably a good buy. And especially a year from now, where is it going to be, right? It's going to be, it was up here at $2. And that was just in January, just a little over a year ago. There was $2 FTMs. So that's why I always zoom back out, just to check it and see. Yeah, it looks like we're recovering up a bit, following my little line here. So we'll see whether that continues up. Entire market a bloodbath. Yeah, Jack. It is. But with these dips, we see what happens with these recoveries, and whether that recovery just comes right back up, or are we going to stay down here and maybe make another dip. Without any real negative news, no black swan big thing happened tonight, that typically you're not going to have another big drop. Like when FTX declared bankruptcy, you saw continual dropping happen. That happened really fast. When Luna was collapsing, you saw that. There was none of this tonight. I think this is just taking out leveraged, long, liquidated positions is what this was. And I don't see it dropping lower right now. Now, later on this month, that doesn't mean this comes up a bit and people get excited, start opening more leverage positions, and then it dumps again. We could see that. That's happened before many times. So that could be. But yeah, 8-5. Again, there wasn't any one event that caused this. Again, I think this was just a lot of the hype from a lot of influencers that were talking about bull runs. Not only continuation from January, little pause in February, and then continuing up. But if you were listening to like George on Cryptos R Us and all, they're just talking about, bull run, everything going up. And I'm like, guys, look at what's going on in the economy with high inflation and high interest rates, and talking about recession. And later in March, there's going to be the Fed meeting again, the FOMC talking about the interest rates and how to battle inflation and not slide into a recession. And if you watch James in Advanced Answers today, he was talking about rolling recession. So these are the types of thing where certain industries are hit at certain times in the economy, but not all at once. And that seems to be a little more of kind of what's been going on. Because if you look at like the CPI numbers and you take out energy, CPI is through the roof. But because energy has been really strong, particularly with gas prices, right? They've stayed pretty low here in the United States, partially because the White House is like opening up all the reserves and keeping a high inventory of gas in the market. It's not to spook everyone that like we're in a recession, and it's kept the United States from being in a recession. But we know how much things cost when we go to the grocery market, right? And you have to buy other things. It's just, things are expensive. It's a recession. I just technically know, but that's where we are, and that's where the economy is right now. But what we've seen in past years, with especially on these 4-year cycles, that you have these red months, and then in the following years it's green. So I refer to this chart, which is the Bitcoin monthly returns chart. Boom, 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 boom. That's this kind of more blue and red. It's not really green, but it's blue, right? And what we look at, and we've talked about these 4-year cycles, and these 4-year cycles were 2014 March, Bitcoin down 22%. 2018 March, Bitcoin down 32%. Now in 2022, Bitcoin was only down 5%. But the continuing months after that, though, April down 17%, May down 15%, June down 37%. So those bad months there were kind of delayed a bit. So what happens the year after that, right? This is the bear, right? Total year, Bitcoin down 83% for 2022. 2018, total year down 101%. 2014, Bitcoin down 64%, right? So those are the four. And what happens the year after? It recovers. 2015, up 48%. But most of that is in the last half of the year. In 2019, up 91%. But that was kind of sprinkled about. Looks like I had a great May, up 60% in 2019. In 2023, we were off to a good start in January, but that wasn't going to continue. And I was predicting March to be red here for Bitcoin as well as Doge. I think it's going to be a red month there. But these are those 4-year cycles that all go around a halving, because the halving is going to happen probably around March time in 2024. So we're about a year away from the next Bitcoin halving. And so those are the cycles. And then fear and greed index, and this was before tonight, was 50. It was right at 50. I mean, so not leaning either way. But you look at the 50 here, and this was earlier tonight before this crypto dump, and 50 is here, and you're like, well, it could go either way, right? Some are bears and some are bulls. And I think a majority were bulls, and I was just like, nope, I'm a little bit of a bear for the month of March. And so we'll look at that fear and greed index tomorrow, and I'll bet that it is lower than 50, meaning a little more towards fear. And that's what we're going to see tomorrow. So Doge, this is a 5-minute chart. We're really zoomed in here, just trying to see how the trading is going. And it looks like we're trying to level out right here, 748 to 750 right in here. So we'll be watching that. Hitman says drop it to 4. We'd be buying a lot of Dogecoin at 4 cents, would we? We'd be buying a lot. Yeah, Martin, you set your limit order last night at 43. Yep. That's how I feel about Sheeb and Jasmine. I could have gotten them lower, but I had my limit order set just in case it was overnight. There was some quick dip, and I was sleeping. I wanted to add those. So, and Doge, I just pick up every now and then. I just bought some at 7.9 cents the other day. 7.39 tonight. That's pretty good, I think. Will it go lower? We have a question here. AWOL, welcome back. Do you think we'll go lower? I don't know right now. Now I'm still predicting 7.3 cents. So, and it may dip, and this is throughout the month of March, and we may dip a little bit lower in that path along the way. That may happen, or this may come up from here and then dip back down. But that's what I'm looking at for March. Well, but that's without any like Elon Musk interference, right? If Elon comes out with something in the month of March, then all bets are off, right? And Doge takes off. So that's why I think buying now at this dip for me was a good point, a good time to get some more just in case that happens. And that's how I felt with Sheeb and Shibarium, right? If with this Shibarium thing, here's the Sheeb chart we're looking at. And I bought Sheeb up here at like 1150, 1155, somewhere up here was my limit set. With Shibarium, and people just start loading up on Sheeb and Sheeb takes off, I wanted to be in the Sheeb game. Again, I'm not a huge fan of Sheeb. It used to be called the Dogecoin killer, but I'm in this just to make money and to take profits. So buy at 11.50, sell at 22, double my money, and I'm out. Now, could Sheeb keep going higher? Yep, it could. Maybe I won't sell all of it. Maybe I'll sell half, right? Recoup the investment and then keep the other half riding to see whether Sheeb continues on up from there. Something like that. For those that are just diamond handing and aren't in a position to be buying right now, this is just crypto, right? Crypto goes up, crypto goes down. This is a dip. Just remember, we're looking at the long term. Let me go back to Doge. And we're looking at the long term back on the daily. Because, right after Elon bought Twitter, Doge was at 15 cents. So that's double where we are now. So you can double buying here just if it goes up to there. But then what's double 15 cents? 30 cents. And when was Doge at 30 cents? That was right here, October of 2021, where Doge was right back here at 30 cents. That's double the 15, which is double where we are now, just under 7.5. So those are targets that you could look at for Doge based on catalysts that will propel Doge up. Without those, Doge will probably follow Bitcoin because they do tend to trade together. Dogecoin is usually a little more volatile, although Bitcoin in January was better than Doge, as well as through February. So this year so far, Bitcoin has outperformed Dogecoin, but Dogecoin outperformed Bitcoin at the tail end of 2022. So it does kind of even out a bit, the way they trade together. So that's what we've been watching. See what Bitcoin's doing right now on the 5-minute. Yeah, not ready for a big V and to come right back up to 23K. Looks like it's turning back around right now with a bit of a red candle here. So this dip might not be done yet. So we'll watch that. Applesauce loves some Doge. And yeah, Elon can make it take off, that's for sure. It's the worst when you buy the dip and it keeps dipping. Yep, that's true. Hey, Ryan and Sculio, welcome. Yep, that happens. You dip, you buy the dip, and it goes a little lower. Your purchase order is complete, Joshua. Awesome. Yeah, I know we can compare with the plus. You want to do a Bitcoin Dogecoin plus? We can do that. Doesn't want to at 5-minute. Not doing it. We'll see. Yeah, not doing it for me tonight. That's all right. Yeah, just struggling around 7.5 cents right now. Just a little under. So we'll be watching that. So what do I think about the new Robinhood wallet? I think it's garbage, personally. Since you asked, of course, last night, right? If you watch Matt, right? He's like, Dogecoin is going to go to the moon because of this new Robinhood wallet. He didn't even download the damn wallet, because you download it like I did, and then you actually get to see what it does. So you download the wallet before you start saying Dogecoin to the moon, which I did. My wallet's at 0 because you go in here and you're like search tokens and you want to search what tokens it has. Boom, 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 boom. And it has no Dogecoin, no Bitcoin, no Ethereum, no Ethereum Classic. No, they're all tokens. And this is on Polygon is what this is. You can get Ethereum tokens and you can bridge them onto Polygon, and this whole thing is built on Polygon. And they're all tokens that are on here. You get some wrapped Bitcoin, some wrapped Ether if you want it, but that's not real. That's what this is. That's what this Robinhood wallet is. It's not for coins. It's for tokens. It's garbage, in my opinion. It's garbage. You do have a seed phrase, right? So you can move your tokens on here and keep your tokens safe, but not your coins. And then I even have some Aave, and it says Aave right there. So I go over into my Robinhood account and I try and transfer some Aave into this wallet, and it won't do it. So I tweeted to Robinhood app on Twitter and I said, why can't I move my Aave onto the Aave in the Robinhood wallet? Because it says it was. Probably because it's a different token. It's not a wrapped thing, and it's not built on Polygon. I don't know where my Aave is in Robinhood, but the wallet looks nice. It's pretty. It's got all this purple stuff instead of green. But so far, AWOL, not impressed with the Robinhood wallet. Now, if you like all of these tokens that this thing has, and you trade in all those tokens, then you'll like it. But how can you have a wallet that doesn't hold Bitcoin or ETH or Doge and call it a legitimate wallet? Sorry. Anyway, you asked. I get a little rankled about things like that, as you can tell. It's just like, come on, guys. It's not a wallet. It's a place to hold tokens. Me, you, hello? Look, took an actual dump right before this happened. That's good. That's good. Would you swap Doge for SHIB anytime soon? No, but I'll do it the other way. I'll do it the other way. SHIB goes on a big run with Shibarium, and I'll swap for Doge. But I'll never swap the other way. But that's just me. If you think you can make money selling some Doge on a Doge run and then swap it into SHIB, good luck with that. I won't do that. We'll be okay long term. Buy responsibly, buy what you can afford. Smart words, my man. Optimism. Joshua wants to hear optimism. Yep, I bought optimism. I'm in the opt game. I bought at 212. And this dip came down to 242. A lot of talk about optimism. Let me go out to the 4-hour here. So this was the range where I bought. My optimism was over here at 212. So that was on right the end of January, beginning of February. Yeah, right around here, February 1st, because that's when I had some money and I was like, what am I going to buy? Well, I'll buy some optimism. Look what happened. Optimism took off like the day after I bought it. And optimism has been trading very well compared to a lot of other coins. And I think optimism as this continues to go forward, I think it's only going to grow. I think it's only going to grow. Yep. Ryan, you say it's relatively unfinished, and it is. So I feel we're getting in early now to something that could grow into something pretty big. It was worth putting some money into this, I think. And we'll see where this is a year from now. I mean, it could be $20. It could be $200. Who knows? Or it could still be fiddling around down here. But it's worth taking a flyer on some of this with optimism, I think. So yeah, I'm in the optimism game. I'm in the Jasmy game as of tonight. Bought some Jasmy right here at 0055. So I'm in the Jasmy game. And the other one that I had been talking about was urine finance, because I bought all my urine back here February 1st. And my average is about, it's just under 7,000. And coming up to 10,000, that's pretty good return. Had a nice run here over the past 2 weeks. Cadena, we'll see. Cadena's kind of dropping back down a bit. But I'm in the Cadena game too, so I'm down on my Cadena right now. Again, longer term project, and we'll see. See where Doge is right now. Well, it's starting to make a recovery here, up to 752. So we'll see. The other thing I want to talk about, let's see, what's happening in the stocks. Futures are all in the red for tomorrow. Dow down, S&P futures down, NASDAQ futures down. So if the S&P is down tomorrow, that could be a bad day for Bitcoin. We'll see. Stock futures tick lower Thursday night. 2-year treasury yield reaches highs not seen in more than a decade. So yeah, not looking good. I guess the best thing would be for crypto to make a nice V recovery so that tomorrow, if it starts going back down because the stock market is going down, and on a Friday you don't know, these are the kind of things that you read and you think Friday might be a bad day for stocks. On a Friday, we could see a big dump in the stock market. We could see the S&P dropping quite a bit. And if that happens, then you're going to see Bitcoin drop quite a bit as well. So be ready for that. So, buying here on this dip, it could be lower tomorrow. So we'll see. CDM has a very bearish view here. 7.2 tomorrow and then 5 by the end of March. So CDM's a big bear in the house. I'm not quite as bearish, kind of bearish. I thought I was going to be bearish tonight coming on when Doge was up here at 8 cents, and I'm talking about the low 7s before the end of the month. But CDM's even more. But here's an interesting one. Dogecoin is outperforming the altcoin market in one key metric, according to Into the Block. What do you think that is? What do you think Dogecoin is outperforming all other altcoins in? It's kind of interesting. Get rid of their little ad here. So what Dogecoin is outperforming all other altcoins in is there's a greater percentage of Doge holders that are in the green compared to all other altcoins. A greater percentage of Doge holders that are in the green. In a new tweet, analysts at Into the Block say at least 40% of Doge holders have consistently remained above water. And the last time that 60% were in the red was back in 2015. So almost 8 years ago. So hold on to your seats, Doge Army. Did you know Doge holders in profit rarely drop below 40%? Other altcoins suffer 90% plus losses in bear markets. But because there's so many Doge holders from pre-2021 that Doge now at 7.5 cents is way up over a penny and even less that a lot of Doge holders still have. And as I was saying the past week or so, Doge has had strong support. Other cryptos have been dropping down, but Doge was holding that 8-cent line essentially for a month and a half. Doge was holding this line until tonight. While others, I mean, look at Hedera. Hedera was just down. I mean, look at that. That trend line is just down for Hedera. But yet Doge's was starting to go down, but then hit this 8-cent line again and then just turned sideways. So before tonight, of course, before tonight. Still trying to climb out here on the 5-minute, all zoomed in. Still trying to climb out. Hey, Ghost, how are you? Silvergate Capital. Oh, the Silvergate. So is this the so-called Black Swan event? Is Silvergate? Let me see what's going on there. Silvergate. What is going on with Silvergate? Cointelegraph has a little article here. Ghost. We throw this over here. Bitcoin price slides amid Silvergate uncertainty. The price of Bitcoin has fallen 5%, wiping $22 billion from Bitcoin's market cap. A wave of uncertainty concerning crypto-friendly bank Silvergate Capital. While the cause behind the steep price drop is not clear, the fall is coinciding with the recent controversy surrounding Silvergate Bank and the delayed filing of its annual 10K report. Yeah, so Cointelegraph is saying this might just be a coincidence of timing. This might not be like the black swan causing this dump. It may be coincidental. So several technical analysts on Twitter claim to have predicted the fall from 23,000 resistance. However, the reasons causing the push down are not clear. As I said earlier, I think it's just the market makers just liquidating leveraged bull positions, leveraged longs. That's what I think. So we'll see. But yeah, that's interesting. We'll watch the news on this. I don't think Silvergate Capital is such a big deal in the overall crypto market, and particularly Bitcoin. It's kind of a big deal, but not. I don't think that's one that like causes like this whole crash. I really think it's more liquidations. We'll see more as time goes on about what people think. So they liquidated their BTC holdings. So they just sold a crap ton of Bitcoin. They dumped it on the market. Is that what you think? No, Cliffhanger, I'm not in the AMP game. That's not one that's on my radar. So we'll see. BTC down to 22.3. Yeah. Bitcoin isn't recovering quite the same as Doge. Doge up at 751 seems to be making more of a move up compared to Bitcoin that's now kind of treading here at 23,350. So yeah, so we'll watch that. What else is going on? Let's see what's going on with CoinMarketCap now with all of this excitement. Looks like Doge dropped a little more than Matic. So Matic is now in number 8 and Doge is number 9. So that's interesting. Doge dropped a little bit more than Matic. They've been kind of flip-flopping here for a few days. So we'll see that. But over the past hour, see what's recovering more. I don't know SSV, Threshold, Lido. I don't know any of these. Rocket Pool, Mina. Here's Yearn. Yearn I like. Hedera trying to make a recovery, and Sheeb trying to climb back up. And there's Optimism climbing back up. So there's some trying to climb out. See what's happening with Sheeb. Yeah, not too much. It's similar to Doge. Coming back up. So just to finish out this Doge price prediction, which was going to be the whole stream tonight. Let's look at the 4-hour, zoom out. And so we can see all of Feb. So here's February's line right here. This is what I was going to do. So February, we started at about 9.2 and we ended Feb with, we kind of went sideways, down, sideways, up, kind of up and down, a little bit over, sideways, and then ended February down. So there was that. And that's where we ended February. So overall, it was a down. And what I was going to do is say, okay, that's that. And so what do I see for March? And so pull that over. Oops. Pull that over. And so for March, I was going to be starting it, which I would right up here. This is the 1st of March. We started at about 8.2. And my prediction of March was going to be something like finally sort of testing 8 cents again before eventually coming below in anticipation of the FOMC. And then we were going to probably go sideways in the 7s and then retest down in the low 7s. So that was my prediction for March. However, Doge dropped it all the way down there in a day, right here on the evening of March 2nd. So right now, all bets are off for predicting the month until we see what this recovery looks like here and what Doge is going to do from here. It's at 7.5 now. So a little bit of recovery. So we'll see where Doge comes from here. And so we'll be watching that. You want to feel like a winner for once? So when prices start going up, CDM, we'll be talking about taking profits and how to do it and not sacrifice future gains. We'll be talking about that because there's nothing wrong with taking profits. Again, I bought 400,000 Dogecoin at the end of January of 2021. That was like $8,000. And I bought all this Doge. And I rode it all the way up to 73 cents and all the way back down. Didn't take any profits. I mean, we all thought in May of 2021, Doge was going to $1. It was just Doge was to $1. Nobody was selling. Like Glauber, Contessator, whatever his last name is, right? The Dogecoin millionaire, right? And all of his millions of Doge he had. He thought it was going to $1 too. Didn't sell anything. He has like $3 million in his Robinhood account. And didn't take any profits. So we're going to learn from that in the next bull run, we're going to talk about how we take some profits, but yet not sacrificing future gains. So we will get there. Joshua, the Binance stablecoin. So this is the stablecoin that Paxos has made for Binance that the SEC has clamped down on. It's going to vanish over time. They are not going to be minting any more BUSD. So what he's talking about is this BUSD, which is now 10th. And what we're going to see is this circulating supply here just continue to go down. It's not going to go up anymore. So it's already down to 10th, and it's just going to continue to drop down. And it looks like Binance is maybe going to be using a European stablecoin. I think I saw that somewhere. So yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Bill's asking about Tron. Well, Tron is run by a guy by the name of Justin Sun that I do not trust. So I would not recommend, although I'm not a financial advisor, but I am personally not putting any money into any of Justin Sun's projects. Don't trust the guy. So that's my take on Tron. It might look like it's a decent project. It might look like there's some gains to be made. I don't support Justin Sun. So that's my take there. So here we are. 7.5 cents. Looks like we're going to settle for a bit with Doge. So we'll see. After this stream, I'm going to put on my chart 24-hour stream, so you can watch the chart there right on my YouTube channel. We'll have that going, and we'll see where this goes from here as it trades sideways. I always mark where I buy, so you know where my purchases are. So that was my purchase there at 7.39. I make these nice and big, these circles, so I can see them when I zoom out to like the 4-hour. So we'll see, but it looks like a little bit of recovery happening. BTC just going sideways. So we'll be watching that. Silvergate bankruptcy, fear driving, could be. Hey Johnny, do you think there is any hope for Gemini stakeholders? I don't know how that's going to play out. I don't know. In bankruptcy, you never know. The only ones who win are the lawyers. The lawyers make a lot. Those FTX lawyers are making a ton of money. But you got Voyager, you got Celsius, you've got BlockFi, and you've got Gemini, all in the same boat. A little bit different with each project, but still, you're frozen and you don't know what you're going to get back. So I don't know. The lawyers are going to take a lot of it. I hope you get as much as possible back. And for all of you that have some in Voyager or Celsius or BlockFi, I hope you get some back. FTX, I don't know. That's not looking good. I don't know what's going to happen with FTX. So, yes, Mr. Investor, staking coins, that's tough. Unless you're doing it in a self-custody wallet, but not on an exchange. I do have some staked on exchanges. I do have some right here in Coinbase. I've got Ethereum and Algorand staked, and on Binance US, I've got VeChain and Harmony One staked. So yeah, I'm taking a risk there by having those staked. For those that are worried, I got a ledger. I've got my Nano S right here. If you're interested in checking out hardware wallets, I have a link in the description below. You can check out the Ledger website. Take a look. I have the Nano S. This is the least expensive. And if you haven't heard my talk about Ledger S before, it's because it doesn't have Bluetooth, because I don't want Bluetooth on my hardware wallet. I want it unplugged and I want it safe. Bluetooth, in my opinion, is just asking people, the scammers, to come in and take my crypto. No. And Ledger Live, you only use when you plug this in to format it, and then whenever you need to transfer on or off, and then you unplug it. Nano S, that's all you need. It's the least expensive one. So check it out. Link in the description below for Ledger. Highly recommend the Ledger. I also have links to Coinbase and Binance US if you want to check those out as well. That's where I do most of my trading. I've shown that on a number of live streams and videos, how the exchanges work. That's where I had my limit order set. I bought SHIB on Binance US there, and I bought my Jasmy on Coinbase. Just tonight, I had my limit order set, and they filled. Not as low as it dipped, but a good price, I think. Now, is the whole crypto market going to dump even lower? It could, but again, I'm holding for a longer term for the next bull run. If the crypto market doesn't take off in the next bull run like it did back in 2021, I mean, that's a risk, right? Again, this is cryptocurrency investing. Just because something happened in the past, you don't know if that's how it's going to work again in the future. But I believe in cryptocurrency, and I think there's enough good things going on, great projects, development of blockchain, Web3, metaverse, all of that is just going to continue to grow. So we could be either really early still, and then this whole thing takes off, or something happens and it all crashes. I mean, who knows? That's crypto, right? That's crypto. So, but yeah, for staking, again, if someone is advertising staking Dogecoin, don't do it. Dogecoin is not a proof of stake cryptocurrency. You don't stake Dogecoin. You buy your Dogecoin and you put it in a wallet. That's what you do with Doge. If you're swing trading, maybe you swing trade some of it and you keep some of it on exchange, but you're risking it. So be careful. 123, welcome. You're right at the end here. About to sign off. Been an interesting night, that's for sure. Not quite what I was expecting, but I gave you my my prediction for March. We've accelerated that a little bit tonight. So we'll see. Again, I'm here 9 o'clock every night. Come join me. We're just talking crypto, talking Doge, hitting some of the news, what's going on, letting you know what I'm doing as far as buying. I am in a buying mode. Again, this is bear market. This is the time that wealth is created, is buying in the bear market. So I'm continuing to buy on the dips, and tonight we had a big dip. Again, is it going to dip lower? It might. We'll see. There's some other projects I'm still interested in, but I got some Jasmy tonight. I got some SHIB tonight, and I got more Doge tonight. So I feel pretty good about that. And we'll see how things go. So hope you all are well, and join me again 9 o'clock. We'll do it again. So we'll see you next time.
Dogecoin, which started as a complete joke, has like skyrocketed to not a joke anymore. It hit an all-time high of almost 10 cents yesterday, but it was so minuscule you wouldn't have understood why you have millions of shares.
Didn't Elon tweet that too?
And arguably, the most entertaining outcome and the most ironic outcome would be that Dogecoin becomes the currency of Earth in the future.